Do you ever? You want that today?
Just live.
Where the printer is made, they send them to the basement. No, they send the old ones home and keep the new ones.
So where's your word?
The basement,
The basement.
yes.
This first guy that you called me about, why isn't it seven?
You just want me to hand you the PSI van, and you want to keep the stack of money.
Yeah,
So it has to be on the laptop.
I don't have a document.
Like it that long, that thing. Right here it is.
But I get my K-1 here, right,
There's the other one.
and
If you
then,
want to get a table of here, then this is the same. Then he'll have this.
Because this was convicted of a misdemeanor. Her felony conviction. Yeah. Yes, not failure 2 years. Failure 2 years of custody.
What county is this in?
Kimberly.
Where am I gonna be?
I think Thursday. Next Thursday.
Services. I've never seen $1,000 bond. Megan, get Megan on the phone. I'll get her right up there. What is the password? What's the last underscore? What's the last number? Could you set that? Could you turn this thing on for me here? I've got the password in.
It's turning back on.
You take that. Okay, that's right. You're teaching so far.
Okay, we'll start the docket. Tony Albertson.
Your Honor, he's not present. I'm not. I had work this morning. Like to be at the voter.
Yeah, his brother called our office, said that he's going out for some testing.
Submit results to the clerk's office.
Issue a bench warrant for him that can be recalled upon presentation of proof by the close of business today to the clerk's office. If he presents proof, I'm gonna have to review it to see if it's adequate, if it's just a normal test or something.
The information I got is that.
Well, being exposed is not good enough for me, okay? Everybody in Clinton County has been exposed, and we got people everywhere saying, I've been exposed, I've been exposed. So I've been exposed today. There were 100 people in here. I guarantee you I've been exposed. So I'll take a look at what he has, but it's not gonna work unless it's good. Do what?
Can we have a March 3rd pre-trial?
March 3rd, and if he doesn't have adequate documentation, you don't know where he'll be till March 3rd. So Tara Ayers. Tara Ayers. Commonwealth, Kentucky versus Tara Ayers, 21 CR 0058. Are you Tara Ayers?
Yes, sir.
What's your year of birth? The last 4 digits of your social security number. Okay, what does the Commonwealth have in this case? So I don't have my thing with me. Let me have the file. A motion has been made that says that you wish to enter a plea. Is that correct? Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Okay. Is this plea freely and voluntarily given? Okay. Have you had plenty of opportunity to review the evidence in your case? Are you satisfied that you're fully informed? You have certain rights under the Kentucky and United States Constitution. Before I can accept a plea, I need to know that you understand those rights. You have a right to have an attorney at all times. You have a right to remain silent. No one can make you say anything. You have a right to a trial by jury on all issues. You have a right to require the Commonwealth to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. By giving up these rights, by entering this plea today, you give up those rights. Now, is this a felony plea? Okay, it's a diversion. Pretrial diversion means that if you successfully complete the diversion, your case will be dismissed, pretrial diverted. Okay, you can have it expunged. However, if you violate the terms of pretrial diversion, you could be called in front of the court. If I revoke those, I'll have a pre-sentence investigation report done by probation and parole. You'll be sentenced in and you'll be a convicted felon. That would mean that in the future, if you have any other felony convictions, that could be used against you to enhance your sentence under persistent felony offender law. Do you understand that? I want you to step to your left there, son. Mr. Stockton's going to read what the agreement, and I want you to see if this is what you agreed to, Mr. Stockton.
Your Honor, the charge will be initial possession of controlled substance, first degree to a sentence of 3 years. And 14 days in jail with additional 118 time incarceration with further release. And also, she can participate in school activities. She'll receive credit for time served. They find the college instruction in the court, obtain and maintain meaningful employment, remain under supervision for everything paid full and all paraphernalia and drugs.
Is that what you agreed to? Come back over here. Now, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason? Okay, is that your signature on the documents? What's the court cost in this case?
$155.
Court cost is $155. You need some time to pay that. I'll let you pay it at $30 a month. The first payment is 30 days from today. Okay? Here you go. And I will sign the order today. You'll need to meet with a probation and parole officer to give him information about your case. Okay? Was there a restitution order of any kind? Okay, so you meet with him. Okay, he's sitting right there. There you go. Brandy Beatty.
Motion to revoke. Last time I knew she was going to break it up.
Okay, is there a warrant? Is there active warrant out? Okay. Nicholas Boer.
Brewer, and I keep Paul, would be a few minutes late, and I said, Brewer, I'll advise the court to delay, so.
Okay, well, issue a bench warrant for him and I'll recall it when he comes.
Thank
Caleb Brown. Morning. Let him have center stage here and you get on this side over here. Let him be in front of the microphone. Yeah. Are you Caleb Page? Caleb Brown, excuse me. I was looking at the next down there. What's your date of birth?
2008.
Okay, and the last 4 digits of your social security number.
4799.
Okay, this is 21 CR 00112. What do you have in this, Mr. Stockton?
Your Honor, we have abstained whereas negotiation proposal.
You'll be back here on March the 3rd at 9 a.m., okay? February the 25th, that's part of your bond. You'll be here February the 25th for negotiation. And then March is over your next court appearance. Randy Brumley. Randy Brumley,
He's absconded for probation, sir.
okay?
Active one.
Active warrant. Joseph Cook. Joseph Cook. Cope. Joseph Cope.
No longer with us, Your Honor.
Do what?
Joseph Cook is
Yeah, Joseph Cope then. Check him. $21
He's in NCIC now.
NCIC, okay. Luther Connor.
You don't care, I'll take that back. There was an NCIC that shows here that he was arrested on January 26th. So he should be he was bonded out on ROR on January, on the same day, given today's court date.
Step over here just for a second. He was arrested through NCIC.
Yeah, he was entered into NCIC, but then he was arrested, it just says.
Where was he arrested?
Static.
Yep.
And then he bonded out.
I didn't know there was a static Kentucky.
We broke it down on.
Static tenant. Do what?
Depends on which side.
I always thought it was all in Tennessee. How was he, where did he bond out at?
And so it was all-
Work here today.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric, for this too. Signed by David Harris.
Bill, he won't be like CIC.
Do-
Before we get this bond situation straight down, I just want to dismiss the credits, because I'm not gonna put the state police.
Well, wait, I'm gonna call off the jail up here first. This was, what's this guy's full name?
Joseph S. Cole. Phone number, address, everything's on there.
What is his address?
1021 Center Lane, Burchett, Tennessee.
Has he got a phone number on there? Call him right now.
July 2021.
Could you call the jailer and have him come up here? You leave a message for him, tell him you're from the clerk's office. He needs to be up here immediately. He's supposed to be here. I'd say they didn't call them. Because he was, what was released on? I never released anybody on ROR, never. So this was a situation where the jail would have had to done that, and this guy's under indictment with conditions of a bond that I set, and they're not supposed to administratively release anybody that's under a bond. So we'll just have to talk to him about what happened before we take any action on it. Okay, now, I guess we have Luther Connor now.
Judge,
Yes,
I've been speaking to pretrial, and I believe what happened with the ROR was that was one of the court appearances in the summer of last year when we were trying to get everybody in person and send out notices, and a lot of people didn't appear. So you issued warrants and set ROR bonds on those people just to get our hands on them when everything was shut down. And he was served that ROR bond and given the next court appearance of July to appear. And then he didn't show up on that July date and was put in NCIC.
so they acted on a bond that had been previously set even after a bench warrant had been issued.
He had a $15,000 surety bond on the indictment warrant, and then he didn't appear in the summer of last year, and you issued a bench warrant with an ROR bond.
But then he was put in NCIC.
Yes, because he posted that ROR bond and was given the July court date and then didn't appear on the July court
Well,
date.
what I'm saying though, is then he was put in NCIC. So when they pick him up on a failure to appear, that bond should not still have been in effect. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, that's not the order things happen. We did the ROR bond bench warrant in June. And then he wasn't put in NCIC until July. And I don't see that there's
So
been any warrants
when did he fail to appear?
in June. June was the first time he failed to
Okay, we'll
appear.
just have to put him back in. I guess it's just, I'll just go down through the docket. We'll talk about that later, okay? I think I understand what you're saying. Okay, Luther Connor. 22 CR 0001. Mr. Connor, what's your year of birth? Do what? 1977. What are the last four digits of social security number? Are we here for arraignment?
I believe so, Judge.
Give me the file. You have a right to remain silent, Mr. Connor. You're represented by an attorney. Grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment. Charge you with possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of controlled substance in the first degree. You understand those charges? Counselor, you acknowledge the identity of your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed indictment, waive formal reading arraignment, enter plea of not guilty, reserving all pretrial motions. I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order. They give you the evidence. Do you want him here on February the 25th? Be here on February 25th to negotiate your case, and your next court date is on March the 3rd. Joey Duval. Okay. Joey Duval, there's an active warrant. I want, what kind of bond, pretrial, what kind of bond have I got set on him?
I'm sure it's a no bond if it's a probation violation.
Yeah. Okay. Angela Escamilla.
We need to pass her case. Like I said,
She's on the line. She's out of state.
Okay, hello, how are you today, ma'am? Angelica, is that correct? Need to turn your microphone on. When you want to schedule her again for March the 3rd? You're scheduled again for March the 3rd at 10 a.m., okay? Let's get back on the line on March the 3rd at 10 a.m. You hear me? Your microphone's not on yet. Okay, now say something. Just nod your head if you understand March the 3rd. Okay, thank you very much. You may be excused. Justin Gibson. Justin Gibson. Does anybody know anything about Justin Gibson?
Your Honor, I know we got a Supreme Court now, you get here at our social conference stage. Have paperwork ready to go. I don't know.
Issue bench warrant. Timothy Kelly.
He's at the last.
Yeah, I'll come back to him. Isaac Lee.
Judge, Isaac Lee has a case out of Barron County also, or Barron or Warren. Barron, and he was sent to treatment yesterday as soon as they served the warrant on him. So he is in treatment in Bowling Green. I called, he is there. He's just getting there and getting settled. We can probably, his attorney will probably work out to get him on next month by Zoom, but he's just getting started.
March the 3rd. I will not say for negotiation since he hasn't been arraigned yet. Justin Lynch. Justin Lynch. What's this?
Commonwealth shows test results.
Okay. I withdraw the bench warrant on Tony Albertson and set him on March the 3rd. Justin Lynch. It's okay.
No service on him.
I'll get back with you on the matter. We had someone that was released on an ROR, but it appears that the ROR bond was in place. So I'll just, yeah, but see, it was the NCIC. It was an unusual situation where the NCIC was put in after he was already on ROR. And that, I don't know whether that's ever happened before we ever put anybody on NCIC. It was ROR. So, yeah, so don't worry about it.
I guess it just because I spent, before I went on vacation, I really spent, and last one, 2 or 3 weeks, going through all my CIP files and trying to find paperwork.
Yeah,
It's more trouble than people realize.
I understand that. And glad it's your job instead of mine, because I mean, even if you get it, they won't honor them like that guy out in California that you guys, they just ignore it. Thank you. I just wanted some explanation about what went on. We know now, okay? Okay, see, yeah. What did we say about Justin Lynch?
No service.
No service on Justin Lynch. Matthew May.
Judge,
Yes.
I was contacted by his attorney, Mike Garman, this morning.
They're
And Matt said,
here. They're here in front of us right now.
okay, I didn't think Mr. May was going to appear.
Okay, he's here.
Judge, we have not been able to work out.
Well, let me get it started here, okay? Commonwealth, Kentucky versus Matthew May, 21 CR 0015. Are you Matthew May? What's your year of birth? And the last 4 digits, social security number? Okay, now what do you have?
Judge, we have not been able to work out a three on this case. I think we just need to set a trial date.
What is the charge?
Traffic possession, paraphernalia, and tampering.
This is the case where we have the suppression hearing, it got meth been running around fire.
Okay. Are we going to try the case in Monroe County, Commonwealth versus Tulane?
It's still on, and my understanding.
Okay.
I've also got, I think, real impairment that they go very often.
Okay. What about March 29th? Okay. See you then. Walter Miller. Walter Miller. Does anybody know where Walter Miller is?
I had in my notes.
Okay. Walter Miller. Ida Myers. Who?
She has paid her expectation in full, which is those fines. So I'm, as far as her probation goes,
Pass over her.
yeah, that was a problem.
Chad Scott.
These are couple things that are the shed, Scott. Robbie Chestnut.
Who is Jamie?
That's related.
Okay, Chad Scott and Robbie Scott. Where's Robbie? Where's Chad?
Robbie Chad's tested positive. All his Monday, so I'm talking about the leader outside. So I'm hoping that
Well, he'll need to provide proof of his test.
This wasn't, these cases weren't originally on the docket. I placed them on the docket by my motion. All that, and I'll inform Chad that he had a intention.
Okay. Okay, if you placed him on the docket, I won't require him to show proof.
Your Honor, this was set for February 21st for all these students. My investigation just is not in place. There are some other issues that I can make the Commonwealth aware of. Potentially really first witnesses that have not yet been able to hospital.
What does the Commonwealth have to say about this? Will you come up so we can get you on
I
camera?
spoke with Mr. Shepard. And we got our subpoenas, so we have really difficult time getting agreement.
Why is that camera not picking them up? I know. It's not rotating when,
I got it. It's not letting me start.
Hey Megan, can you allow us to start video on this computer? Thank you, ma'am.
I think it was doing it earlier. I don't know. Okay. What does the Commonwealth want to do about Chad and Robbie Scott? Sir, if you'll step on over to the left away from the microphone.
I wasn't too keen on continuing the case because of the investigators. I thought Mr. Shepard told me there were some other issues. As far as conflict, I said, you satisfied the court on that.
Did he tell you what the conflict was?
Because he was probably allowed. That's what we are.
It's pretty obvious situation. Ethically, I can't do it from the court.
Well, we just had the jury here is. We just had the jury here this morning. There's about 75 people in here and we told them that's the first date that he's gonna have a trial. Got 75 people here, you know, 75 or 80 people. You want to go on the record in private?
What I do is tell you ex parte and if you want, you don't have to. Away from it, yes.
Okay, let's go into chambers here. Get that fixed.
I'll be here a while for a minute.
Mr. Stockton, you'll come up.
Yes.
It appears to me from what our in-camera conference that we have that he's gonna have to withdraw from the case because of conflict that has arisen during the investigation. I think it's legitimate. And so what I'll do is I will continue this case until March 3rd to set a trial with both of them appearing with new counsel.
Each have their own respective counsel.
Yeah, and he can't be involved in it. So, okay. I'm going to continue the case of Chad Scott and Robbie Scott till March the 3rd for both these gentlemen to appear with counsel to set a new trial date.
Before you proceed to the next case, can you recall Walter Miller, Mr. Scratcher, from the warrant, you know, that, what's the warrant?
Okay. Let me. So I'm deleting the Scott case. Okay. Who'd you want to call back up?
Walter Miller, he, Mr. Shepherd was there, he felt there was a warrant on him.
Okay, Commonwealth versus Walter Miller, 21 CR 0009, issue a bench warrant. Now, who is here now? Did you say that's coming to courtroom? Justin Gibson. Commonwealth versus Justin Gibson, 21 CR 00107. Are you Justin Gibson? What's your year of birth? Last four digits of your social security number. Okay. What do we have here?
Your Honor, we have a
Your name is Justin Gibson. Justin C. Gibson. Okay, well, let's make sure we have that. We amend the indictment without objection to make sure we have a C in it. Mr. Gibson, I understand that you wish to enter a plea. Is that correct? Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Are you fully informed about your case? You had plenty of time to look at the evidence against you. Are you satisfied with your lawyer's advice?
Your Honor, one correction, it was different.
Okay. You have certain rights under the Kentucky United States Constitution. Before I can take a plea from you, I need to know that you understand those rights. You have a right to counsel. at all proceedings. You have a right to remain silent. No one can make you say anything. You have a right to call witnesses, have the process issue to compel their attention. You have a right to cross-examine the witnesses that are called against you. You have a right to trial by jury with representation of trial. You have a right to require the Commonwealth to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If you enter a plea today, you give up all those rights. Do you understand that? Now, I understand that you wish to enter a plea and it's a potential it will be a pretrial diversion. A pretrial diversion means that if you successfully complete the terms of pretrial diversion, the case will be dismissed pretrial diversion. Then your case could be expunged. However, if you violate the terms of pretrial diversion, you're brought in front of the court here and I revoke your pretrial diversion. I have a pre-sentence investigation report done with probation and parole. You'll be a convicted felon and that could be used against you in future cases to enhance the sentence in a persistent felony offender law. You understand that? Anybody threaten or coerce you in any way to get you. You step to your left here, step to your left. Listen to what Mr. Stockton has to say.
We're going to have to start over. When I get to the negotiation day, I had a 14 criminal history. Mr. Gibson had basically no criminal history. And so I did diversion. Mr. Payne told me he just got off his caseload because he's a convicted felon out in Indiana. It was sentenced in 2019. I didn't run into the license. I didn't know it was a convicted felon out of state. I'll do the same plea as a felony plea if he wants to do it. Otherwise, we'll have to start it.
Probated felon, probate.
Same terms, it's the felony plea rather than first.
Give me his file. Is this his file?
Get all the paperwork. Make a change.
So having been determined that you're not eligible for a pretrial diversion, your attorney's now presented documents which you've executed in open court that says you wish to enter a guilty plea to a felony. Is that correct? Okay, will you come up, Mr. Stockton? Mr. Stockton?
Yes, Your Honor.
You announce what the offer is.
Yes, Your Honor. Upon plea of guilty to operate the motor vehicle under the influence of first offense, pay a fine of $200 for the cost. You will also pay a fine of $500 for failure to maintain insurance. Upon plea of guilty to possession of controlled substance first, you will receive sentence of 3 years probation, 5 years supervised. You'll be referred to the SSC, follow all recommendations. You'll receive credit for time served, pay fine, cost discretion of court. You'll obtain gain in employment.
Okay, in addition to this felony, get behind the podium here. In addition to this felony being used against you for enhancement, the DUI plea will make you possible that that could be used in a future DUIs to enhance it to a higher level of crime. Do you understand that? Okay, knowing that is still your desire to enter a plea in this case. I'm going to order a pre-sentence investigation report. Once I look at the pre-sentence investigation report, if I decide that you need a more severe penalty, I'll tell you that I'm rejecting the plea and you'll have an opportunity to withdraw your plea and have a jury trial. Do you understand that? In other words, this is the most you can get. If I decide it's not enough after looking at your pre-sentence investigation report, then you can withdraw your plea. This is as much as you can get without an opportunity to review it again. Follow what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, is that your signature on the docket? Okay, well, I'll accept the plea. Now, was there time, he wasn't gonna serve any time on this thing, was he?
No,
So I'll let him loose, and for his sentencing will be here on March the 3rd. You need to talk to probation and parole right there, and you're under the same bond until then, okay? Jamie Scott. Jamie Scott. Commonwealth versus Jamie Scott. 21 CR 0026. Your day for pretrial conference. Y'all have an agreement? Pardon? Pretrial conference.
I sent, Ms. Thompson an email yesterday. I thought it should be sent and also.
We'll just see if we have the pre-sentence investigation. If you got a copy of pre-sentence investigation report, okay, they'll hand it to me here. Just on the docket wrong. No problem. Thank you. You're here for sentencing. Have you had an opportunity to look at the pre-sentence investigation report done by probation and parole? Is essentially correct. Is there any reason that this lady should not be sentenced today, counsel? On plea of guilty to trafficking and controlled substance in the first degree, the defendant shall receive a sentence of 3 years, probated, however, for 5 years supervised. She shall be referred to the social services clinician and follow recommendation. Receive credit for time served. What are the fine and court costs in this case?
155 for
No fine, $155 court costs. You need some time to pay that. Okay, you pay the first $30, 30 days from today, and $30 every month until paid in full, okay? Need to meet with the probation parole officer right over there. Great, thank you. Jimmy Simmons. Commonwealth versus Jimmy Simmons, 20 CR 0085. Are you Jimmy Simmons? Your day for a pretrial conference. You shall be here on February 25th for negotiations with your attorney. The next court date is March the 3rd. Both of them are a condition of your bond. You understand that? Okay, thank you. Scotty Spear. Scotty Spear.
He was in the Clinton County Jail. He was arrested after the docket was done.
Okay, I'll move him down to the jail docket. Timothy Stapp.
He's got an active warrant, sir.
Active warrant on Timothy Stapp. Okay, is the Russell County Jail on? Russell County Jail, are you on?
They are not.
Okay.
None of the jails are on except Clinton County, so I'm not sure.
Let's go to Clinton County. Clinton County Jail.
Yes, sir.
How about Billy Amonette? Billy Eminette.
Jamestown, Tennessee, it says that Kentucky.
See, I never knew that all these years.
Depends on which side.
Yeah. Commonwealth versus Billy Eminette, 21 CR 0085.
Drug tank is just two, there's just two in there.
Arthur, you turn this camera off right here, right now. We're gonna pick it up in the back for a while. Well, that's okay. Just it'll come. Yeah, turn it off just for a second and we'll turn it back on and go in person here. Mr. Stockton's getting fixed up now.
I think I got. I think that's like 3 or 2. The boys are saying 3. 3. Okay, 3. And then we got these 2 boys.
Number 4.
Okay, so that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, Jeff. Yeah, he's line ready. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Mr. Shuffett, are you on now?
Yes, I believe Billy is David's client.
That's correct.
He went flying out of here a while ago. See if he's out there. Well, I'm just glad we don't have a long docket today, so. It's been kind of hurry up and wait, hasn't it? So. We'll go back and use Mr. Shuffett's TV. Billy.
Really made one.
he's wanting to do.
Commonwealth, Kentucky versus Billy Amonette. We're here for a pretrial conference. What does the Commonwealth have to say about 21 CR 0085?
Well, I made Mr. Amonette and his brother both an offer, and I guess if they're not going to accept it, I need trial dates on both of them.
Your Honor, Mr. Amonette and I, quite frankly, I was supposed to go down and get with him earlier this week, and due to some complications, it's not as easy to get to the jail as it used to be, even though it's the same distance. But although I'll say Mr. Thurman's always and his staff's always very cooperative. But if you want to set a trial date out, and then we'll see where we are, I think we're close to resolving the case.
I don't want to set a trial date until we are. So you'll be back, you'll be on negotiation day. Negotiation day is February 25th, and he'll be back in this court on March 3rd.
I believe we'll have something to report, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, what about is his brother on the docket, did you say?
Yes.
He's at Russell County, Judge.
Russell, okay. Okay, we'll get him over then. Okay, Laura Burchett. Laura Burchett.
She's in Wayne County, Your Honor.
I'll contact you.
We're up to Wayne County. Okay, Josh Davis. Are you Josh Davis?
Yes, sir.
This is 21 CR 0040. Robert Stevens is the attorney. It appears. Josh Davis.
I'm handling the revocation, Your Honor.
Oh, he's handling the revocation. Okay, Mr. Stockton, what do you have to say?
He has a new felony arrest and absconded, so I would call Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne can come out here. Mr. Payne. Or you can go back there either way. You can go back there either way. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You raise your right hand. You swear the testimony. This is Mr. Payne. Raise your right hand. Swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, identify yourself and with whom you're employed.
Probation and parole officer Carson Payne.
Okay.
Probation and parole officer.
You want to answer the Commonwealth's questions?
Mr. Payne, Mr. Davis has a 10-year sentence on self-unlawful taking. We've been supervising him once he served his alternative sentence.
Yes, sir.
And how long have
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Mr. Stockton.
How long have you been supervising Mr. Davis?
He was granted probation on January the 13th, 2022.
Okay. And since January the 13th of 2022, has he had any violations?
He has.
And what are those?
On January 17th, he received a new felony arrest for assault, disorderly conduct, criminal trespassing, and alcohol intoxication. He failed to report on January the 24th, providing false information to the officer. And he failed to report on January the 28th. And I got him for absconding because he never reported as directed.
What false information did he provide you?
He, on January 21st, subject reported that he reported once he was released from custody. He advised that he's going to be staying with his wife on 405 West Street, Albany, Kentucky. On January the 27th, this officer conducted a home visit on 405 West Street and spoke with subject wife, and she advised she had not talked to subject in over 2 years and that he was not living there.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Shovett?
Mr. Payne, do you know the status of the cases that he got charged with in district court?
I do not, sir.
Okay. No further questions.
No redirect and no other witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Shovett?
I think Mr. Davis needs to testify.
Okay, Mr. Davis, you raise your right hand. You swear the testimony about to give us the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
go ahead and answer the questions from your.
State your name.
Joshua Davis.
Josh, I'm going to ask you to, why did you tell the officer that you were going to be staying with your wife or living with your wife?
Well, I had talked to her before. I was staying with my aunt, and we got into an argument over there, and three of my cousins attacked me. I ended up getting assault charges.
No. I didn't ask what happened. I asked about your wife.
Oh, well, I talked to her, and before I come to jail, and I was going to go down there and stay. And when I left here that night, I went straight there. I walked straight there. I swear on everything. I walked straight there, and they didn't look like nobody lived there. And I talked to her that couple, like a week before, because I was in jail on that charge. And I talked to Carson the very next day when I had to report to him the very next day too, and up there at the courthouse. And I told him that she wasn't living there. And he told me I needed to find me a place to live. And I never could, I couldn't find no place to live or nothing like that. I didn't have no home or nothing like that while I was out there. I was wanting maybe.
So Josh, is it fair to say that you were homeless since you
Yes.
were released?
That's been my
January?
problem. Yes, sir.
Did you tell the probation officer that you were homeless?
Yeah, I told him like after I talked or couldn't get a hold of my wife or nothing like that, and he told me I needed to find me some place to stay. I didn't have no car, no home, or no phone or nothing like that to be able, no means of anything. And the charge that I do have is a misdemeanor, should be.
Okay. What would you like to see the court do in terms of with this revocation? If you were not revoked, what are your plans?
If I could just, I'd be fine if I could just get me some place to stay and some kind of stability. I mean, I just didn't have no home, nowhere to stay. And I mean, I've been on parole before, and I completed every bit of my parole with not one violation, never failed a drug test or anything.
Answer any questions the Commonwealth has for you.
Yes, sir.
I have no questions.
Okay. Mr. Shovett, what do you have to say?
Judge, I'm asking the court to sanction Josh. He just never got started on probation. He was released on the 13th of January, was homeless, and probably should have made that more clear rather than saying that he, I think he did have the intention of going and staying with his wife, but I don't think that was confirmed that, that was a plan or anything. He really was homeless in every sense of the word. He didn't have anywhere to go. And if he'd have made that clear to the probation officer, that might have changed Carson's outlook. Maybe Carson would have pointed him to resources that could have helped. I would ask the court to sanction him for whatever the court deems an appropriate period of time. And then hopefully Josh can gain some stability when he gets released. Perhaps even inpatient treatment would give him a first step towards stability. He does has had drug issues in the past. So I'd ask the court to, he just got probated by this court on the 13th. He never really got started. And I'd ask the court to sanction him and give him another opportunity.
Your Honor, this case involves a theft case where he stole over $20,000 worth of property from his employer. But during the pendency of this case, every time he was out on bond, he'd get a new charge. Since he got out in less than a month, he failed to report twice to Mr. Payne. He got a new arrest, and he didn't tell Mr. Payne where he was living. So I tried to give Mr. Davis a break where he could get back and pay restitution and get his life on track. Now he talks about that he was on parole and completed parole. That's probably true. But before he got on parole, he went to prison because he wouldn't complete drug court. I've tried every way in the world to give him opportunities to get his life straightened out, but he's just not amenable to supervision or probation. I hope maybe he needs to go to prison and get in the SAP program and reorient himself. But what's going on here in Clinton County is not working.
Well, I don't know what the resolution of these things are, but I'm gonna revoke Mr. Davis. It just appears to me that he's made a legitimate effort to perform. Okay, I'll sign the order, and then the underlying cases. Is there an underlying felony charge, or are they just misdemeanors?
They've not worked their way up to me yet, so I don't know what the
Misdemeanors.
resolution.
Misdemeanors. Well, maybe you can get those resolved and let him run with the time that he's got and he can come out clean. Okay, Emmanuel Fluter. Commonwealth versus Emmanuel Fluter, 19 CR 005. You are Emmanuel Fluter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What do we have here, gentlemen?
We have a mediation scheduled February the 16th, Your Honor. If you want to reset this for March the 3rd, we can report on that.
I thought it was the 15th, Jesse. I just make sure we're on the same page.
I've got it down on my calendar as the 16th. I may have the wrong date down, but that's the date I've got now.
Okay. Are you available on, I'm available on either if need be, but I think it's the 15th, excuse me.
Well, we can clarify that after court, but I'm available either day.
Okay.
Okay, we'll set the next court appearance on March 3rd. Mr. Fluter, they're gonna excuse me, meet, negotiate the thing again. And it's set for trial, isn't it?
Yes, in April, Your Honor.
Okay.
So if there's no resolution, we'll be ready.
Okay, March 3rd will be the last pretrial that will be scheduled, okay? Thank y'all. Thank you, Mr. Fluter. Timothy Harold. Commonwealth versus Timothy Harold, 21 CR 00115. Are you Timothy Harold?
Yes, sir.
What do we have here, Mr. Stockton?
We probably need a negotiation day. I just got the lab report, I think back Monday or Tuesday, and furnished that to Mr. Sheffield.
February the 25th for negotiation day. March the 3rd for the next court day. Your attorney got these lab results. Mr. Harrell, he'll be down to speak to you, okay?
All right, thank you.
Ricky Jones. When are they gonna bring the hogs up here? So when are they gonna bring the hogs up here? Because it's cold enough to hang meat in here. I'm not going through menopause. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Ricky Jones.
Yes, sir.
21 CR 0032 and yes, that and 21 CR 00108 for sentencing. I say for sentencing. Okay, that's all right. Mr. Stockton, if you see this white stuff, it's frost. I'm the highest point in I'm the highest point in the courtroom, and it's frost.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Your Honor, at least you have a robe on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But you don't know what I've got on under it, so you know. Okay, we're here for sentencing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Miss Hill, will you turn your camera off till we call you?
Yes, Your Honor. I am actually Mr. Jones' attorney on these cases.
Well, you didn't identify yourself, so
I-
I didn't see you. What is that you got over your right side there? I thought you were in jail. Are those cages?
No, Your Honor, it's just some stuff I've got up in my office.
Call it art. The reason I didn't recognize it, probably not real artsy, you know, so. Okay, we're here for sentencing. Have you have opportunity to review this pre-sentence investigation report with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is everything substantially correct in there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't see a copy of the agreement in here.
No, thanks. Can you get me the Jones file? So I think it's 5 years sentence.
Here, I've got the agreement here now.
He's got it now. So.
Didn't tell me what the sentencing is, but tell me what he pled to. Here it is. I guess this is in 2021 CR 00108, 2.5 years to run consecutively to Clinton case 21 CR 0032. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Enter and complete the specialty court. And then on the other charge, it would be 21 CR 0032, 2.5 years to run consecutive to 21 CR 103 for a total of 5 years. Probated, supervised, shall enter the special drug court. What arrangements have been made to interview this gentleman? Has he been interviewed and voted on into the drug court?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a $10,000 case, you gotta be put on first.
Has he been oriented?
No, you know your orientation date?
In the morning at 8:30.
Okay, well, I'll allow you to get out of jail in the morning at 7 o'clock. So if you want to go clean up before you go, or you just gonna go straight over there?
I'd like to go clean up, but I don't care to go straight over, Your Honor.
Hey, Your Honor, the drug court program did send a release on him for tonight at 6. If that's okay with you.
Well, I want him released in the morning at 7. I don't want him to fall off into the ditch here before he gets up there. So not that you would, but you know, Jones, I know how tough it's going to be.
I do too.
Yeah, so I don't want to get you out there and somebody wave one of them little baggies at you tonight somewhere and you fall off a train before you get there.
No, sir.
So we'll let you off in the morning. You just go straight over there for the orientation. So you get released 30 minutes before the orientation, okay?
Fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gary Latimer. Gary Latimer.
Judge,
Yes.
the jail has requested that they not bring Mr. Latimer out due to behavioral issues this morning.
Okay, you want to pass over that?
There's no objection, Judge. He's set to go to KCPC, has been for quite some time. They're
Okay,
just,
we'll pass over Mr. Latimer because of obvious reasons. Rodney Manus. Is it Manus or Manus? Commonwealth versus Rodney Manus, 21 CR 0020. We're here for a pretrial conference. What do you have, Mr. Stockton?
We need a trial date on Mr. Manus, Your Honor.
Okay.
Jesse, has he been indicted? You were going, I thought you were.
It should be this morning.
Superseding indictment.
Yeah, it is this morning. Should be taken care of this morning.
Okay.
Well, let's just wait. Would another negotiation day do you any good since the superseding indictment?
He's Mr. Davis's co-defendant, and he's objecting to the amount of the restitution, so I doubt we'll make any progress unless he changes his mind.
There is a proposal that he made to me that seems I don't know if the Commonwealth would be interested in it, but I'd like to talk to Jesse about it.
Let's just set him for the 3rd and let him take a run at it. Do you want the proposal directly, or do you want him on the 25th?
I'll talk to
25th,
Jesse
Your
about it on the 25th or before.
Let's set the negotiation day on the 25th, and then we'll set a trial date on March the 3rd, okay? Okay, Gary Polson. Okay. I'm gonna finish Clinton County and go down to the grand jury. Gary Polson, 21 CR 00143. Are you Gary Polson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do we got here, Mr. Stockton?
We have a pretrial, and I've also got a motion to revoke his bond based on new charges, Your Honor.
Okay, we got some background noise somewhere. It needs to stop. Okay, you got what again?
I've got a motion to revoke his bond based on new charges. I've got Officer Guffey to testify on that if it's
Okay.
necessary.
What are the charges?
Give me just a second. He was arrested here in Albany. It's criminal mischief, criminal trespassing, T-Bud under $10,000. Received a complaint from Albany Full Service that he'd taken one of the vehicles, had the fuel line cut, and they were sitting on the lot for repairs. Video's been taken as evidence of the crime. So it's a new felony charge while he was out on bond.
What's the other case involved?
Well, that one's probably more serious than the case he's got pending. He's got no insurance, wanton endangerment, and operating on a revoked license is the case that's pending.
Okay, now will this be returned? Indictment be returned today?
No, I think it'll be next month, Your Honor.
Okay.
You don't have it.
What do you have to say, Mr. Sheriff?
Judge, I am familiar with the new indictment, or excuse me, the new felony case. We've had a preliminary hearing on it. I don't know the exact dates off the top of my head, but I do believe, unfortunately, it's been, since the issuance of the.
Well, I'll revoke his bond, and then we'll have a negotiate, even though the indictment hadn't been returned yet and hadn't been presented. If you'll meet on the 25th for negotiation, you could proceed by information, maybe, and wind all these up. You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Paulson? Is that they're going to negotiate with you on the 25th and tell you what these new charges is, see if you can wrap them all up in one thing, and maybe you won't have to wait in jail the additional time till you're indicted. I'm trying to fast forward it for you a month, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Paul Richie. Paul Richie.
I don't know if he's been served or not, Your Honor.
There he is. Commonwealth versus Paul Richie for the purpose of arraignment. Are you Paul Richie?
Yes.
What's the last four digits of your social security number?
7903,
What year were you born, Mr. Richie?
11982.
Your attorney, Mr. Shuffett, is on the line there. You have a right to remain silent. Mr. Shuffett, I'm going to lay these indictments out on your table here. You acknowledge the identity of Mr. Richie, receipt of the indictment, waive formal reading and arraignment, enter a plea of not guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll set this for negotiation for the 25th of February and this court date on March the 3rd. What's the bond situation on Mr. Richie?
The $15,000 clerk approved surety with standard conditions.
Okay, that seems like a reasonable bond. If you want to challenge the bond after discussing it with Mr. Richie, Mr. Shuffett, I'll hear that at some juncture, okay?
Okay.
Eric, thank you, Mr. Richie. Commonwealth versus Eric Stamey. Sign a reciprocal discovery order on Mr. Richie. Commonwealth versus Eric Stamey, 20 CR 0062. We're here on a revocation. Mr. Shuffett, you represent Mr. Stamey. What does the Commonwealth have to say in this case?
Your Honor, Mr. Stamey has a 5-year sentence. He was placed in the drug court. He was terminated from drug court. My understanding is he's going to stipulate to the revocation.
Is that correct, Mr. Shuffett?
That's correct, Judge.
Yeah, I will pursuant to his stipulation, I will revoke and he shall serve his sentence. Is it pretrial diversion?
It's a diversion. So it needs to be set
We'll
for
order a
sentencing.
pre-sentence investigation report to be done and have be sentenced on March 3rd. Let's go to Heron Tuggle. Okay, you want to go back there and get on the camera with Mr. Shuffett? Are you Heron Tuggle?
Yes, sir.
What's your year of birth?
1995.
And what are the last four digits of your social security number?
1135.
Okay. Mr. Stockton, do y'all have an agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
Is it a felony or a pretrial diversion?
It's a diversion plea, Your Honor.
Mr. Tuggle, I understand you wish to enter the plea today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you fully informed about your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the advice of your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have certain rights under Kentucky and the United States Constitution. Before I can accept a plea, I need to know that you understand those rights. You have a right not to testify against yourself. No one can make you say anything. You have a right to a trial by jury and be represented by an attorney. You have a right to call witnesses and compel their attendance. You have a right to cross-examine any witnesses. You have a right to prove to require the Commonwealth to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. If you enter this plea agreement today, you give up those constitutional rights. You understand that? Now,
Yes, sir.
A pretrial diversion means if you successfully complete the agreed terms of the diversion, your case will be dismissed, pretrial diverted, okay?
Okay.
Then you will, but if you violate during those terms, I will you'll be called back in here. And if I violate it, I'll order a pre-sentence investigation report done by probation and parole. You'll be sentenced and you'll be a felon then. And that means this could be used against you in any subsequent felonies to enhance your penalties. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have anything you want to say, Ms. White?
No, I was just, his mother is here and I was hoping that we could get him released today. She's traveled from London and he doesn't drive, so that's his way home today.
He has a DUI, Your Honor, so he won't have any license, and he also be diverted 5 years for 5 years and will owe $1,625 restitution jointly, several. And I told Ms. White, once the restitution's paid, I would probably dismiss the diversion as long as he don't have any violations.
In addition to that, if he's entered a plea to a DUI, that means that will stay on his record to enhance any other DUIs in the future. Do you understand that? So if you get your diversion revoked, then you'll be a felon, and that can be used against you. But in any event, this DUI will be used against you if you get another DUI. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the 1625 was restitution, is that right?
That's right. And it's jointly and
What's the court
several.
cost?
155.
No, he's got a DUI.
The total price. What's the fine?
$200 fine.
$200.
The total amount of everything fine cost is $960.
Fine and court costs and DUI fees are $960 and restitution $1,625. So I'll let you make a payment of $100 a month, start 30 days from today, with the money applying first toward the restitution. Okay? First toward the restitution, but you'll have to pay all of this before any diversion. We consider dismissing any diversion or anything, all court costs and restitution and everything. Okay, what, Carson, what number does he need to call to talk to you?
I'll send the information to you.
Okay, the information is going to be sent to the jail, but do you have any objection to him being released today, Mr. Stockton?
No, I think that'd be appropriate. Your Honor.
Okay, well, as part of this agreement, you need to be on a curfew. If it's not in there, I'm demanding it be on the curfew. You staying with your mama?
No, my sister.
Do what?
He will live in Monticello with his sister and try to get a job.
Well, he needs to stay at home unless he's out to go to the doctor or go to church, or meet with his attorney, or unless he can document he's somewhere making a job application. He'll need to stay in there until a further order of the court while he's on this diversion. Okay? You don't want him out gomming around, as they say in Monroe County, until he gets a chance to get a job. Okay, I'm going to go into a brief recess and then we'll go to Russell County. I've got to go down and wait on the grand jury here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brad.
Where do you want to live at? You know where it's at? You know where the shell is? Give him a phone number and address.
Melissa, here's this reservation agreement.
I've been trying to do a diet. I've not been exercising. This is the bad part. Usually I'm exercising at the gym, if I lose weight, but not this time. No, actually I gained about 4 pounds. You know that, y'all heard that Octavia? Yeah. That's what I've been on since October. I'm so weak though today, so things kind of getting to me. But I cheated a week and I ate pies and pizza. I did it right. Yeah. Yes, 225, 33. Yes. I can see it. Yes.
Hey, we need to get us. They make a thing. Who's on the way? Who's shut the door on? Right. Yeah, I couldn't tell who's talking. I think it was talk to road. Yeah, they went for it. They thought we should.
Gary Poston and Paul Richie, I think.
No. Tore them out.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Let me go, who was, you say again?
Did you give them y'all by chance, those indictments?
Who was it again?
Paul Richie and Gary Poston.
We brought everything back.
You did give me Gary Poston. Didn't you?
I gave you one.
Oh, let me check.
Maybe I gave you this. I'm not going back there too. Hey, this is good going here, Lynn.
Yes. Okay. As soon as I heard the word pig, I thought, oh, it's over with.
Well, she gave it to me at the same time.
When you're up here with life, you just gotta have it. It's freezing.
Really?
Oh, she.
I drove it for you.
Yeah.
So I don't have Poston, but I do have Richie. They brought Richie back. I just make a copy if it's. I'll get it out.
Get here.
It's ready right back in here. Yeah. I just sent somebody one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Keep in mind that I'm
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the Russell County Jail. Russell County Jail.
Judge, I think we still have one in Clinton, one last case.
Who do we have in Clinton?
Scotty Spear, he was listed as out of custody because he just got picked up.
Okay, well, let's go back to Clinton and Scotty Spear. 20 CR 007, Scotty Spear, Clinton County. Clinton County, are you back on the line yet? Scotty Spear, Clinton County. Scotty Spear, please.
Is that Melissa?
Scotty Spears, Clinton County Jail.
Who'd you need?
Scotty Spear. Commonwealth versus Scotty Spear, 20 CR 0007. Are you Scotty Spear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're here for a revocation. What do you have to say, Mr. Stockton?
That is a motion to revoke pretrial diversion. Had a 3-year possession of controlled substance. He went into the specialty court program, was terminated. It's my understanding he's going to stipulate, Your Honor.
We stipulate, is that correct, Mr. Shuffett?
Yes, Judge.
It will we'll revoke his pretrial diversion, order pre-sentence investigation report, having come back in on March the 3rd for sentencing. Is that all we have down at Clinton County, Mr. Stockton and Clerk, Madam Clerk?
As far as I know.
Clinton County, do y'all have anybody down there that we've looked over?
Well, we do have one on a new arraignment, Dakota Melton.
Yeah. He was an add-on. Is he a public defendant? Public advocacy, represent him. You bring him in and we'll go ahead and arraign him. 21 CR 00127 Commonwealth, Kentucky versus Dakota Melton. Are you Dakota Melton?
Yes, sir. I'm Dakota Melton.
Who represented you in district court? Did you have a lawyer or did it go straight to the grand jury, you know?
I had Brad Shuffett, sir.
Okay, well, I'll continue that appointment. What is your year of birth, Mr. Melton?
June 1st, 1995.
Last four digits, social security number 0737.
Correct.
Okay, you're here today for the purpose of arraignment. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with trafficking in controlled substance. Mr. Sheffield, I'm going to lay the indictment on your desk there. Do you acknowledge receipt of the indictment, identity of your client, wait formal in arraignment, enter plea of not guilty, preserving all pretrial motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, Mr. Melton, I'm going to sign a reciprocal discovery order. The Commonwealth will have to give your attorney all the information you have about what's Mr. Dakota Melton's bond status.
It's a $50,000 with an ankle monitor. I'm thinking it's one of the sealed indictments.
It's one of the what?
The sealed indictments that we're having served.
Okay. Well, Mr. Commonwealth attorney, I
Yes.
said the bond, but I guess I said it because they were sealed indictments. Was there a lot, would you have any reason why the bond should be this high?
No, there's no reason it should be that high. He's alleged to have trafficked in 1/10 of a gram of meth.
Well, I'll reduce the bond. I'm going to reduce the bond to $15,000 surety and a curfew. Okay, you stay at home except to go to work or the doctor or to court. Or
Yes, sir.
church. Okay, and I'll let 15,000 clerk approved surety. Okay.
He's
Yes, sir.
set for the negotiation day, I guess, isn't he?
Yeah, the negotiation day, he'll be here the 25th of February at the courthouse to negotiate your case, and your court date is going to be on March the 3rd. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dakota,
Yes, sir.
if you make that bond and get released, make sure you contact me.
Do you get a phone number?
They have it there at the jail.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
Now let's go to Russell County now. Y'all on the line. Russell County on the line, doesn't appear to be on. Yeah, there Russell County is. Wayne County, we have very short Russell County docket today. We'll be right with you, Wayne County, okay? Russell County, Bobby Eminette. Bobby,
We're getting him, Your Honor.
okay, and then we'll have Barbara Johnson, Rebecca Major, and Jennifer Stockton. It looks like the four we're gonna have there.
Okay, we'll get him.
Okay, thank you.
Who you got, Robert?
Stockton. We've got Stockton.
Oh.
Yes, at least they used to. Because we had some.
Yeah.
Sunshine outside, huh?
Well, I knew they did.
Judge, you mentioned sunshine. Our boy woke up this morning, and as soon as he looked outside, he ready to play.
Is that right?
He's tired of being cooped up. She got him outside for a few minutes yesterday. And when I come home, I get ready to get ready for church, and I hear him kicking and screaming.
Well, that's unusual these days. A lot, most kids want to stay on those iPads and computers and stuff.
He likes that outdoors.
Bobby Eminette.
Okay. Commonwealth versus Bobby Eminette, 20 CR 0092. Are you Bobby Eminette?
Yeah.
Are you represented by Mr. Shuffett? Is that correct? Mr. Shuffett, is Mr. Eminette your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you have here, Mr. Stockton?
He's co-defendant with Mr. his brother, Billy Eminette. We set that for negotiation day on the 25th. Mr. Cross said he had a new proposal, so I'll have to give it one more chance.
Negotiation date on February the 25th, and the next court date's on March the 3rd. Okay, thank you very much. Barbara Johnson. You want to go back and share the TV back there?
Yeah, I believe.
Barbara Johnson, it was her co-defendant. Is that what?
Yes, Timothy Harold was the co-defendant. We just give out the lab report to Mr. Harold's counsel. And is Mr. Wilkerson or Mr. Cross representing?
Mr. Wilkerson back there. He's gone back there now to use Mr. Shuffit's.
I just didn't know in what capacity, if it's individual or I guess the discovery, does that need to go to you, Mr. Wilkerson?
No, Your Honor, I'm here filling in for Mr. Coleman Hurd, who's been taking this conflict appointment.
We'll have Mr. Hurt be here on February the 25th for negotiation and on the rule day for March the 3rd to enter a plea or set a jury. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. Rebecca Major. Commonwealth versus Rebecca Major, 21 CR 0066. Are you Rebecca Major? Are you Rebecca Major?
Yes, sir.
What are the last four digits of your social security number?
1335,
And your year of birth, ma'am?
94.
Okay, we have a pretrial conference here.
I believe it's a final sentence in your.
Okay, it was on here incorrectly. Okay, thank you. A pretrial diversion was voided on January the 13th. And pre-sentence investigation report was done. Counselor, have you had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report done by probation parole?
I have, and Rebecca, have you seen that as well?
Yeah.
Is it substantially correct, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, and it recommended a sentence of 3 years. Is that correct, Mr. Stockton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah,
Your Honor, I would like the court to consider probation in this matter. She was on diversion for a short period of time, very short period of time, never really got started with it. Again, somebody who probably needs a little more stability, and I think she's a worthy candidate to be considered for probation.
what did she get revoked on the pretrial diversion about?
She absconded, Your Honor. That's the reason she was revoked. This is a situation that if she has a plan about getting a job and where she's going to live and thing, I might look favorably at shock probation if the court doesn't grant probation, because I'd like to know what her plans are and if she's learned a lesson from absconding. And
Well, I'm not going to probate her on an absconding situation, but I will, if you need to work with the Commonwealth, get your life together. You got some kind of background noise there. It's a bad thing for somebody. Okay, thank you. So I will consider shock probation at the first possible time. Is it 30 days, no more than 100?
It's 30 days, so it'll be the April docket before we can get her back on.
Okay, well, if she finds something real good and straightens it out real good, I would consider after the 30 days, even by agreed order.
Okay.
If she can get herself straightened out. In all probability, it'll be April 14th. You just can't run away from these things, man. You know, it's tough.
I messed up. I messed up big time.
I know. Well, it's not easy to walk away from this stuff. I have a lot more understanding about it than I did 10 years ago when I first started this job. I know it's not easy to walk away from, but you got to do it. You know, the greatest thing that I fear, and I know I've talked to Mr. Stockton about it, Mr. Shuffit faces it also, is that we pick up the newspaper and we find out that they didn't get to Narcan to you quick enough, you know, and you died. Maybe something that we could do to change that. So you work real hard on getting it straightened out, get you an employment, someplace to live, and we'll take a look at it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Rebecca, I'll be in contact. We'll come up with a plan, okay?
Jennifer
Thank
Stockton.
you.
Jennifer Stockton.
All right.
I was gonna say, good morning, Ms. Stockton, but I didn't realize whether it was before or after lunch, you know, so. You're here today for the purpose of sentencing, Carson, she's here for the purpose of sentencing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had an opportunity to look at your pre-sentence investigation report of a probation pro?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in there substantially correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've reviewed the report and the sentence is 21 years to serve pursuant to the agreement between the parties.
Yes, sir.
Is
That's
that
correct.
correct? Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. And I'll sign the document today so they can switch you over to a state inmate. Maybe you go someplace that you can get some help, okay?
Thank you.
Your Honor, that's the only matter I had. If I could be excused, sir.
Absolutely. Do we have anything else over in Russell County? Is that it?
That's all. That's all.
Thank you for your cooperation. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's go. We've got Wayne County on there. Let's go to Wayne County. Yeah, there's just one person in, no, there's might be two people in Pulaski, Tim Kelly and Richard Smith. Wayne County, Benjamin Claywell. Commonwealth versus Benjamin Claywell. 21 CR 00088 and 21 CR 0089. Are you Benjamin Claywell?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the last four digits of your social security number are what?
29, 24, 15,
And what's the year of your birth, sir?
10/3/86.
Okay, what does the Commonwealth have in this case? Says it's pretrial conference, what it says.
He's set for trial on April the 25th, 22, and I've got nothing to report new.
Okay. Mr. Shuffett, have y'all exhausted any negotiation possibilities here?
I wouldn't say exhausted, but we've, you know, I intend to probably bring Mr. Claywell's case up on the 25th or the next time I meet with Jesse and see.
Do you want to schedule him for a negotiation possibility on the 25th?
I'm always willing to talk. I'm kind of like NATO, so.
I'll set it on the 25th for negotiation, February 25th. Y'all can decide whether you want him transported that date. If you want him transported, I'll sign an order. And then March 3rd to enter a plea, or the trial date is when?
April 25th.
April 25th. So March 3rd, plenty of time. Also, that way, sir, if they have any pretrial motions that they want to file about anything, they can be heard on that date, okay? And we'll do a negotiation day on the 25th to try to advance it. Okay, well, thank you very much. Virginia Daniels. Virginia Daniels. Commonwealth versus Virginia. Are you Virginia Daniels?
Yes, sir.
What's your year of birth, Miss Daniels?
1984,
And the last four digits of your social security number?
7986.
You're here for a revocation hearing, it says, in case number 21 CR 0070. What does the Commonwealth have to say?
Your Honor, she has 5 years on a criminal possession of a forced instrument. She still owes restitution. She's had different violations. I spoke with Mr. Payne and Mr. Shuffett. I'm willing to give her an opportunity to go into drug court and get her life straightened out if she wants to take it. If not, I want to proceed with the revocation.
Mr. Shuffett, have you had an opportunity to talk to Ms. Daniels about this?
I have, Your Honor. She's agreeable to drug court.
Ms. Daniels, I will agree to do that. Well, as a referral, she hadn't been voted or anything yet, has she?
No, Your Honor, she just got picked up, so we'll have to do a drug court referral and get her
Yeah, I'll
assessed.
sign the referral today and they get you assessed, Ms. Daniels. And then the rule day comes a little earlier next month on March the 3rd. And I guess we can try to get that. Is that the next time the drug court will meet? When will they meet?
They probably won't meet till the following Monday, Your Honor, I believe. Be around the 7th or 8th.
Okay, well, what we will do is just as soon as we can get you scheduled and they vote you in, and I'll get you oriented and out of there. So you don't have as much time, but this is a great opportunity for you to put this in your rearview mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Okay, I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Taylor Phillips. Taylor, Commonwealth, are you Taylor Phillips?
Yes.
This is 21 CR 0042. We're here for a pretrial conference. Mr. Shuffett, what do you have on Ms. Phillips?
Your Honor, we have a pretrial diversion agreement. If you'll remember, we attempted to enter that last month and there was a little confusion and, but we're prepared to
Ms.
proceed.
Phillips, what is your year of birth?
1997,
Last 4 digits of your social security number.
5260.
The motion has been acknowledged by your attorney that says you wish to enter a plea today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Okay, have you had plenty of time to look at the information concerning your case and you feel like you're fully informed?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the advice of your attorney?
Yes.
You know, you do not have to enter a guilty plea. You have certain rights under the Kentucky and United States Constitution. Before I can accept a plea, I need to know that you understand the rights. You have a right not to testify against yourself. No one can make you say anything. You have a right by trial by jury with an attorney at all levels of the proceedings here. You have a right to call witnesses and to cross-examine witnesses and compel witnesses' attendance. You have a right to require the Commonwealth to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty of each charge against you. When you sign this agreement, you give up those rights. Now, a pretrial diversion is an agreement that says if you complete the terms of it, the case will be dismissed, pretrial diverted. And then you can have that expunged and wiped off your record and you won't be a convicted felon. However, if you violate the terms of pretrial diversion, I bring you back into court, we have a hearing and I revoke your pretrial diversion, you'll be a convicted felon. Then that means that any time in the future, before there's some action to change your status, if you have another felony, this could be used against you to enhance your sentence or make it longer under persistent felony offender law. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, now listen very carefully to what Mr. Stockton says and see if this is what you agree to, Mr. Stockton.
Your Honor, Ms. Phillips will plead guilty to theft of unlawful taking under $10,000, receive a sentence of 5 years. She will also plead guilty to receiving stolen property, receive a sentence of 5 years. Those 2 5-year sentences shall run concurrently for a total of 5 years. Pretrial diverted for 5 years, supervised. She'll receive credit for time served and shall serve an additional 131 days in jail, but shall not be released prior to drug court orientation. She shall enter and complete the specialty court. Commonwealth agrees not to indict on 21F 118. She will pay fine and costs at the discretion of the court, maintain gainful employment once released, and remain on active supervision until everything's paid.
Was there any restitution order?
No, Your Honor, the property was recovered.
Okay, give me the court costs.
155.
The court cost is $155. I'll let you pay that at $30 per month, starting 30 days after your release. Okay,
I'm sure there's a drug court referral.
and I'll sign the drug court referral and
I think that we can submit another one, but I'm pretty sure that they already have a referral.
okay, well, I'll check the file and then she won't be able to be oriented in that until after she gets these other days out of her way anyway.
And it was my understanding we were looking at 131 days total of what she had served.
That's correct. But we just got to make sure she's oriented before she's released.
Okay, well, y'all keep on top of that, gentlemen, and we'll make sure she gets to the drug court as soon as she can, okay? Thank you very much. Now, do we have Chris Sanders? Is that next? Chris Sanders, Commonwealth versus Chris Sanders, 21 CR 00160. Are you Chris Sanders?
Yes.
What are the last four digits of your social security number?
3154,
Okay, and what's your year of birth?
1985.
We're here on a pretrial conference, Mr. Sanders. Mr. Stockton, what do you have to say?
Well, Ms. Jones and I met on the negotiation day, and I think our initial offer was 8 years to serve. And I've not heard anything back as far as a counter offer if we need a trial date.
It's my case, Judge.
Oh, I thought it was Ms.
Or
Jones.
Jesse, excuse me. Yeah, I've conveyed the 8-year offer to Mr. Sanders, and if we could set this on the settlement conference date and a pretrial, and we'll see where we're at, and we'll set a trial if we don't have it settled.
Okay, February the 25th will be the next the pretrial conference negotiation date, rather. And the next pretrial conference will be on March the 5th. And on that day, if we don't have an agreement between you and the Commonwealth, sir, we'll set you a speedy trial date, okay?
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, we have Laura Burchett over there.
Yeah, I'll have to get her. She wasn't on our docket.
Okay. She was on our Clinton County docket. We didn't know she was over there, okay?
Okay, hold on.
Laura, I'm Laura Burchett, and I sent Chris Sanders out.
One of the real good things about living in Kentucky instead of Florida is you can get plastic straws here. And in Florida, you can't get plastic straws. So unless you try to drink out of a paper straw lately, you will not appreciate this straw as much. Nothing good can happen with a paper straw. Yeah. You gotta set your priorities in life, what's important to you. I guess paper straws are all right if what you're snorting through or drinking through is dry. They probably are. Yeah.
Oh, we can do it next.
Like to come on the courthouse. It's the first time.
Oh, you never been in there?
I've been in the bathroom, but I've never been outside.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's okay. Yours is gonna be a lot nicer.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. About a third bigger. And a lot more usable room inside. Finished nicer. That courtroom over there is not big enough. Whoever designed it.
Don't have enough chairs to see.
Yeah, that's right. They got all that decorative thing on the side, that big wall of glass. We don't need that in Burkesville. I mean, what they should have done is run that wall up, had about 40% more people. Okay, Commonwealth versus Laura Burchett, 22 CR 0002. Are you Laura Burchett?
Yes, sir.
We're here today for the purpose of arraignment. You have the right to remain silent. In district court, did Mr. Shuffett represent you?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to continue that representation. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with trafficking in controlled substance in the first degree and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm sending the indictment back to your attorney. Mr. Shepard, you acknowledge the identity of your client, the indictment receipt, waive formal reading and arraignment, enter a plea of not guilty, reserving all pretrial motions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, I'm signing this reciprocal discovery order, and the information about your case is being sent to your attorney so he can review it to help prepare for your defense. You'll need to be present at a negotiation date on the 25th of this month to negotiate with the Commonwealth your case, and then be back here on March the 3rd. What is this lady's bond set at?
The clerk approved surety with standard conditions.
15,000?
Yes.
You ought to be able to make that, ma'am, but that's not a very high bond. All you got to do is come in and somebody just show that they have a net worth of $15,000 and are Kentucky resident, they can sign you out. So you ought to be able to make that, don't you think?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, well, if you can't make that for some reason, you need to contact your attorney when you come back on the 25th. Or, I mean, come back on the 3rd, then we can talk about your bond and making it, see if it's an undue hardship on you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And that concludes what we have, I guess, at Wayne County. And thank you all for your cooperation as always.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day. Okay, does that conclude I guess we got Pulaski County?
Judge, I have tried since we started the jail docket to get Pulaski on. And I finally contacted Assistant Supervisor in the Pulaski office. He finally was able to talk to a person, and they said that the person that does Zoom has stepped out, like they're calling me now.
Okay.
This Carson probation officer. Yes.
Judge, if we can't get them on, I've got both of them, Richard Smith and Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly's held by a federal case as well as this case. Richard Smith is held by PV and he's going to stipulate. So if we need to set it for the 3rd, I don't, given that's just 3 weeks off.
He's communicating with them here. What's he saying?
Still gonna be a few minutes.
Just tell them that we'll continue that both of them being held on other things. We'll continue to March 3rd.
Both of them are being held on everything, so we're just gonna continue it. We'll have another one.
Oh, okay. Can we issue?
No, you don't have to call me back.
Can you issue a pin on the one that's being held?
Yes, yeah, don't worry about it.
March 3rd.
March 3rd. Thank you.
Can you put a pin on one of them?
Richard Smith is about me.
Okay, and the other one's in federal custody.
Yeah.
So neither one of them be on the county's dime, sir.
Richard Smith had a pin since August or September.
Okay. Okay, do we have it, Stockton, do we have anybody else here?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah, come on up. Nicholas Boer is here. Mr. Stockton, you want to come out here?
I will.
You want these back?
I'll take them.
Megan always takes them.
Yes, sir.
Megan, I'm making the probation pro officer take these PSIs back because I told him you always took them.
Sounds good.
Okay, you have Mr. Boer. Mr. Nicholas Boer, 20 CR 0074. What do we have in this case?
Your Honor, preliminarily.
Let him get behind the podium when you.
There was a bench warrant issue earlier, Your Honor.
Yeah.
What's that do calls here? And second, I think we reached a plea agreement on this case.
Commonwealth has no objection to bench warrant being withdrawn. Mr. Boer, this is 20 CR 0074. What's your, let him get behind the podium there. What is the year of your birth? And what are the last 4 digits of your social security number? Okay, a motion has been filed that says you wish to enter a plea. Is that correct? Is this a felony plea or diversion? Okay, a diversion means that if you successfully complete the period of diversion, your case will be dismissed, pretrial diverted, and you get it expunged. However, if you violate the terms of pretrial diversion significantly, you're brought back in court here, and I revoke your pretrial diversion, then a pre-sentence investigation report will be done by probation pro. You'll be sentenced, and you'll be a convicted felon. That means that conviction could be used against you in the future if you have any other felonies. Is there a DUI or anything involved in this? No. Okay, Mr. Stockton, you want to come around and recite, sir, will you step to your left?
Your Honor, this is a pretrial diversion. Mr. Brewer will plead guilty to receiving stolen property under $10,000 for 5 years, sentence pretrial diversion for 5 years. It will be supervised if he resides in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, otherwise it will be unsupervised. My understanding is he's in Tennessee and he's on probation down there. He served quite a bit of time in Tennessee, so I'm not going to ask for jail time. He'll pay for court costs at discretion of the court to maintain gainful employment and abide by the laws of the Commonwealth of any other jurisdiction.
What are the court costs involved here? Now, what charges is he pleading to again?
This was a receiving stolen property under $10,000. This is the case where there was a camper trailer on the property of Joey Craig.
I remember that.
Mr. Craig pled guilty to that, and Mr. Brewer's pleading guilty. And I want to enter an order to dismiss the other co-defendant. The lady was online this morning, Escamilla from the group.
Okay. Do you need some time to pay that $155 or can you pay it today? Okay, if you pay it $50 within 30 days and $50 a month until you get it paid, the last payment, make the first payment $55. Okay, and that'll leave it at $55, 30 days from today, and then $50 a month for each month for 2 more months for a total of $155. Okay, you're welcome to do that. Okay, you need to meet with the probation pro officer right there. Is there any other matter to come before the Clinton Circuit Court Criminal Division? Mr. Stockton, do you have anything else? See if he has anything else. Okay, we'll be in recess until 1, is that correct?
Yes.
Sure. We'll recess till 1 o'clock. Yeah. I guess I hit this here, stop video or what? And then mute and then